Okay. First of all, thank you for accepting the invitation.
So, bonjour. I'm Antonio Tam. I'm the director of Valley of the Shadow of Death, also the writer.
Hi, I'm Jeffrey Lam, and they usually call me Lam San, and I'm also the director of Valley of the Shadow of Death.
Okay, so maybe another question that is a bit like generic, but it's always good to know. Why did you choose to work into the movie industry? Why being a director, especially?
Well, since I was like primary school, I already developed a habit to write because I love reading and writing so much, and I thought I will be an author, a writer one day. And then during my time in high school, one day I discovered a film called Raging Bull by Martin Scorsese. So that's the moment I fell in love with cinema, and I thought, what what a great film Raging Bull is, and it's about empathy for a really toxic and horrible man. How can you feel so much empathy for that guy? And I thought, wow, this is the power of cinema. And so that makes me think of my future, and I wish I can make a movie like that one day. So that's why I joined the school of Academy of the art school in Hong Kong, and paved my way to become a director.
Mm. I also fall in love with cinema at a rather young age, and I go to see the movies in the cinema with my parents very often, since primary school. And then during the high school years, I start to watch more old films and art films and also the non-mainstream movies. So I start to consider to choose to study in film school after graduating from secondary school. And because when you enter film school, you actually don't know about what are the different duties of the different roles, like what does the sound man do, what does the editor do. So usually when you goes to the film school, you would imagine yourself to become a director, because when you love watching movies and you start to realize that there is a movie director behind a film, then you will start to imagine yourself to becoming a film director someday. Then in after I graduate from film school, I actually start my first movie job in Hong Kong is actually to be an actor in a film called G Affairs. It's in 2018. But afterwards, I didn't give up to be a director. Like I have keep making some short films and have collaborate with others to uh, write some stories. So when Antonio Tam's screenplay, when I have the chance to read his screenplay, and it is also about a subject matter that I'm quite interested about. It's about the struggle of a religious man, and I like to make short films with that subject as well because I came from a Christian family, and my father is a pastor in Christian church. So I start to collaborate with Antonio and start the development of my first feature film. Yeah.
Okay, very interesting. We will talk about it just after for the movie. Um, Also, I'm a bit curious. It's always good to know. Do you have like a favorite movie, a favorite director maybe that inspired you when you were younger or that still inspires you now?
So as I just said, Martin Scorsese is a great inspiration for me. How how he managed to make indie movies so much depth with characters, and how he make criminals like human. Because we often thought of bad guys are terrible people. Of course, they are terrible people, but they make them so human, like Goodfellas or Wolf of Wall Street. And that's the topic I really enjoy or inspired. Or when I look in Hong Kong cinema, one director I really look up to is Johnny To. Of course, we all love Wong Kar-wai's too in Hong Kong, but I think Johnny To is also a very great director in Hong Kong, and Um, he also touched the subject of like gangster or lower class people in Hong Kong, and I really love how he used cinema as his tool to express the situation in Hong Kong. So he is also one great inspiration.
Mm. And my favorite movie director is actually Woody Allen. And I enjoy many of his films, and I appreciate the range of his um all of his films. Like he could make very serious films and also very comical films. And also he actually explored different possibilities of cinema, especially in the 90s. He tries musical and tries different types of genre to present his very personal stories. And I think actually one another director that inspired me quite a lot, and especially on this movie, Valley of the Shadow of Death, is Paul Schrader's. It's he is the screenwriter of Martin Scorsese's Taxi Driver, and he has made one film called First Reform, and that film is also about the inner struggle of a pastor, and I think the style of that film and the thematic concern of that film has quite a heavy influence on when I am preparing to make this film. And for Hong Kong cinema, I think our tastes should be similar. My favorite director is also Johnny To, and I also enjoy watching many Wong Kar-wai movies. And I also like John Woo, and another film director also I think I appreciate him quite a lot, but I think should be less well known in foreign countries. And his name is Alan Fong. Like he has made a few quite um social dramas in Hong Kong. Um like he didn't make many films, but every one of his film is quite unique and concerns with some very unique social issues in Hong Kong. So I think if anyone is interested in any cinema outside the action cinema of Hong Kong, they can try to look into the name of Alan Fong Yuk Ping. Yeah.
Okay. And also, before we go to the main topic, how would you describe or define your work if you had to present it to someone, maybe to the audience? I know it's a tricky question.
We always change, and also it's a tricky question because we are very different people working together. Me and Jeffrey.
Mm-hmm.
How do I describe myself? This is a good question. Well, I always thought of um, I'm more like a writer director because uh, I either the short film or the feature film now I've just direct. I always direct the things I write. If it's not written by me, I feel very not safe, insecure to direct it. And if someone force me to, you must direct his script or her script, then I must do a rewrite until it is something that I truly believe from my writing. So because I believe I always thought writer and director should be like the same person if possible. Because when you write something, you have something imagined in your head, and how do you present the scene and how do you present the dialogue? It's also from the script to the screen. So I don't know how I can separate that. So I'm more like a writer director. And for my style, I like it's very different from Fate of the Shadow of Death, but I like loud movie more. I like to use music and rock and roll and violence or like some real danger for my style. But I don't know why when I write and direct Fate of the Shadow of Death, it's like a whole total different thing. It's quiet and it's subtle, and yeah, the violence is from inside but not outside. So I guess it's a tricky question because we always change. I don't know who I am until I really did something. Yeah.
I think my style would change according to the screenplay that I receive or I write myself or collaborate with others. Because in Valley of the Shadow of Death, it's uh, you can tell a few stylistical characteristics. Like the most of the shots are quite still, and some shots are rather were some of the drama was shot in wide shot, and the lighting is rather dark. But we choose that kind of particular style for me is because I think that suits the script the most. It's not just because I enjoy to shoot every film in such style. So I think the style would depends on the script. But myself personally would be more interested in script with a character facing uh, a dilemma that he cannot solve it very easily. It's usually the kind of dilemma that it's from the inner side of himself, and not the kind of drama like he don't have money, and if he has more money, then he can solve the problem. I would be more interested in shooting films with inner struggle.
Hmm.
That is the main drama of the movie. So this script particularly interests me because it is about a religious struggle of the pastor, and that is something that you maybe you cannot tell from the surface when a man is facing such a moral dilemma. So I think it is quite a a material with high potential, because in cinema you usually express many of the characters' inner thoughts with the different camera skills or different cinematic elements. So I think it is a very a material that is very good for film. Yeah.
Okay. Most of the time, I like to ask this because, of course, you will say what you are right now in the moment, but maybe years later, if you watch the interview again or you think about the interview again, you can see, oh, at that time, my style was this way because we evolve all the time, isn't it? So it's always good to have like some point where some recording moments when you, at this point, I'm like this, and then you can go back and see again, oh, I changed, I'm not this, like this, that, that. So I think it's good also to ask this question.
I never dare to watch any of my interview.
But maybe you will have a flashback one day because maybe in 10 years you will have a person like me who will ask you the same question. And then you say, "Ah, I had this question 10 years before."
Yeah.
Okay, then maybe we can go directly to Valley of the Shadow of Death. First of all, for the one who haven't watched it yet, can you maybe introduce the movie real quick without too many spoilers?
Well, it's a very simple storyline. A pastor who loves God so much, but he had a trauma that his daughter suicide, and the guy who caused his daughter's death is now repent, and he want to believe in Jesus. So the pastor must decide, should I forgive him or should I revenge for my daughter?
Okay. So you already started a bit to talk about it, but I will still ask again. How did the idea came about this movie? How did you think about this idea especially? Because I think it's a very interesting idea for this movie, and it's not like the type of idea that you see a lot because it's very there is like a lot of it's very deep. So I wanted to know how did you think about that?
So actually it is my graduation project, the script. Is my graduation project, and me, I Jeffrey and I attend the same school, but
Okay.
he's like a senior student. So we haven't met so much, but we know each other. But that's another topic. So my teacher challenged me to write a feature film length script, and he asked what is the subject that interests me the most. Well, so I record my whole my whole life, is 20 something whole life, and I start to go to church since I was 3. So the life of church, the question of God, um, why does why we are suffering and God is silent? This kind of question always troubles me. And I thought, well, in Hong Kong, there's only a few films about Christianity. And I thought maybe it's a challenge to do it. And I never thought of really making it to a feature film. I just want to write a script about it. So that's how I start to do the research. And something interests me is that I find many similar news. Um, Maybe some a son of a pastor was killed in somewhere, and the pastor come out and say, "I decide to forgive the bomber, the killer." I was so shocked because it's not only one case; it's many cases have similar case like this, and there's one from Hong Kong as well, from years ago. How a young couple were killed by some gangs, and the parents who were Christian, they also decide to forgive the gangs, and I was like it perplexed me how great the forgiveness is that we all can't understand. Because us, we are not the parents, we are not the victims, but we are so angry, and we can't even understand why the parents can have that kind of love to forgive. And that kind of love troubles me. That is this really human to do it? Is it possible? So this kind of thinking keep buzzing me, and I decided to write a topic about to forgive your enemy, and how it is so difficult when you preach on the stage. Maybe it's easy. It's just like a teaching. It's just say a few words. But when you really face your true enemy in real life, and God asks you to forgive him, or you think God asked you to do it, can you really do it? Or it is just you're repressing yourself until one day you explode. So this is how the idea all came together. And after I finished the script, I met Jeffrey, and we decided to join a competition held by Mr. Louis Koo. What's the name of the competition?
And keep rolling, keep running.
Yes, keep rolling, keep running. And very fortunately, we won the prize, and so we have the funding to make it to a feature film.
Yeah, it was a scheme that was introduced to the Hong Kong film industry during the times of COVID, because during the times of COVID, there are many film productions stopped because of the pandemic, and then there is a organization called a Federation of Hong Kong Filmmakers. They have decided to introduce this plan. It's like an emergency plan to help more filmmakers in Hong Kong to have some production to continue running, and at the same time to support the younger filmmakers. So at that time, they are asking filmmakers to submit their script, and Antonio already have a full script. So we decided to try to submit it to the competition, and we won at the end. So we got the funding eventually to make the film.
And I'm curious to know from the first idea to the final draft, how many years did it take?
Wow. Um, I started writing the script in 2020, and because actually I finished the script like in 6 months, 7 months. But after that, I also won the competition. So I thought, okay, we are going to start rolling the camera and shoot the film. But there's COVID, so the whole thing have to postpone. And since COVID, because no one have anything to do, we have lost our work and we just graduate and we are waiting for the green light. So my producer asked me to let's rewrite, make it better. So I keep rewrite, and um, I was still very very green in this business, and I keep rewriting and I make it worse, and I keep making it worse, and I thought, oh, how do I go back? I don't know how. So this process, how I write a script and rewrite and make it worse, and eventually make it better again, takes around 3 years. And eventually we shoot the film in 2023, right?
No, at January of
Yes,
2024.
yeah, we prepare the film. We start the production in 23,
Yeah.
and we start rolling in 24.
Okay. And did you
Yeah.
face, I'm pretty sure there was, but still ask, did you face any challenges during the making of the movie?
Yeah, there were many challenges. Uh, First, our because our budget is quite limited. It is 4.2 million Hong Kong dollars. And it sounds like a lot, but actually for a film production, it is just a very limited budget. And we only have 14 shooting days, have to complete the whole film. So we finish the shooting less than a month. I mean from the day one of the shooting until we wrap the shooting. And so this is one of the biggest challenge. And then because it is our first time working with um, very well-known film actor, which is Mr. Anthony Wong, and also Louisa So also is a very experienced stage and film actress. So we when we discussed the screenplay with them, they actually have many uh, valuable feedbacks to us, and then we have to modify the script and and but at the same time we have to face many of the production problems like uh, how we how we should decide the shots and how we should which locations should we choose. And then at the same time Antonio is keep modifying the script according to feedbacks from the cast and also from the producers and according to different realistic problem of the productions. So it is comparing to our days in making short films where the production could be more under control with from the director, like the director could plan everything before the production. Uh, this time, when making a feature film, we have to face more different kinds of challenges and production problems and the how we modify the script. And this kind of different challenges, I think, should be quite new to us because it is a very different size in terms of the scale of the production, making feature film and making short films.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And you just introduced about the actors. How did you cast the actors? Was it easy or was it more difficult to find the actors?
When I write the script, I already have Mr. Anthony Wong in my mind, because he played a role of a priest before in an Anne Hurst movie. So I know it's subconsciously I thought of him when I write the script, and when I really present the whole thing to my producers, they also agree. Well, maybe Anthony is the right choice for our movie. So we asked to have a meal with Mr. Wong, and it's magically how the same year he finished the Bible, not knowing that we are making the film. And he's not a Christian. He's just interested in reading the Bible. And after he finished the Bible, and we sent the script to him, and he thought, "Wow, what a coincidence!" So I think it's like I say, a magical moment. And he liked the script, and he also asked us to rewrite something. And after 1 year, also COVID, and after 1 year, he I thought he maybe I have a feeling that maybe he was just kidding with us. Like, but because he's so well-known actor, and I thought he liked my script really. I'm not so sure, but like after 1 year, after 2 years, oh, he's still on board. So there goes how we cast Anthony Wong.
Also, from reading his autobiography, he had wrote a autobiography in recent years, and I actually find that he has he in his earlier days, like when he was younger, he actually did went to church and has some memories about being at his life with the going to the church. So I think the 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 culture of Christianity and the environment of the church, he actually has has strong feelings about it, and he knows about the environment. Comparing to an actor, if he has never been to the church, or maybe he is from comes from a different religious background, I think it would be more difficult for them to understand, or for them to cope with the like the di in our film, the many dialogues are related to the Bible. Like the pastor has to quote from the Bible, or have to perform some of the uh, Christian rituals. So I think for Anthony, he had such experience going to the church during his earlier years, and because he has finished reading the Bible in recent years, I think he has that background and that experience has given him the more knowledge and more insights in giving feedbacks to our script, and also in playing the this pastor character. Yeah.
Hmm. And since this movie is also talking about more serious theme and more deep theme, I'm curious to know how did you balance everything? Because at the same time, you need to show certain emotion, but maybe you cannot go too deep into it because it might be too dark at the same time. So how did you balance everything to make it how it is now?
Wow. I'm not sure. I'm not sure that we did it perfectly. Cause sometimes when I look back, I still feel, well, maybe it's too dark, too serious, or too much Bible verse, like theological. So I'm not sure that we tackle it perfectly. But when we are planning the whole thing, we also ask a lot of um, our seniors filmmaker in Hong Kong, like ask for advice, and especially Sunny Chan, a director of Table for Six, and also 中文佢英文係咩啊
Felix Zhang.
Yes,
He's
Felix
the
Chong.
screenwriter of the very famous Hong Kong film Infernal Affairs.
Oh, okay.
Because he is also one of the jury for the competition that we joined. So after we were selected, since he's a very famous screenwriter, so we have a chance to meet him for a few times to discuss the script, and he gave us some of the feedbacks. Yeah.
So Felix and Sunny help us a lot, like how to structure the film to be watchable for the audience. So it's not going to be like boring or too heavy for them. And I think uh, the actors' performance help a lot. Because how they sometimes Anthony Wong's have thought of some interesting moments. For example, the scene where he and Alok climb the mountain and he forced Alok to bear a cross. That whole scene is written in the script, but I wrote it. The scene is in church, happened in church. It's not on the mountain. And Anthony Wong, he suggests, how about we change it to the mountains? So it's more dangerous, it's more fun, and we can get close to God because on the top of the mountain we can see the sky, and that kind of suggestions make the film like more engaging to the audience. So yeah.
Okay.
I think we spend quite a lot of time to discuss the balance, because we know that our screenplay is about the Christian world. Like the main character is a pastor, and the struggle that he faces, whether to forgive or not, is based on the Christian teaching, the teaching from the Bible. So when we were still discussing the script, not yet entered pre-production, we we did discuss with the producer and our screenplay consultant that, because the Hong Kong audience, not all of them are Christians, and we don't want to make a film just to target the Christian audience, because this is not a film to that the main message of the film is to ask you to believe in Jesus. It is not that kind of film, but it is a drama that based on that centers around the Christian world and the environment of the church. So we try to balance the drama and the religious aspect of our film. because we don't want to scare away all the non-Christian audience. Because as Antonio has mentioned that the many of our dialogues were comes from the Bible, or the character would directly quote the Bible first. So we try to balance the drama and the religious aspect. Like we, because in deep down, the drama of this film is about a very angry father who who deep down maybe he want to get his revenge, but he has to struggle with his occupation because he's a pastor and he teach others to forgive. So this drama we think is a very human drama. So we try to dig deep into this character dilemma more. And at the same time, we will not give up all the Christian elements because it is very important details in this drama because it's about how a pastor deals with a man who tries to join his church, but at the same time, he hates this man very much. So we also have to use the uh, Christian elements to make the drama has more details and to be um, more captivating to the audience. So we try to strike a balance between that. Yeah.
And I'm curious to know if you have maybe any fun facts about the movie. Some things maybe that the international audience might miss or we might miss in general.
One fun fact about the film is that the we spend quite a lot of time in trying to look for the right casting for Alok, the character, because we want to find a young actor and who is willing to play a rapist, because a rapist, this type of character is usually um the it's very challenging because the audience might really believe that you are such person, and they might hate you very much after watching the film. And now we picked George Au. George Au is actually a pop idol in Hong Kong, so we didn't think that he would agree to act in this film because it might cause a damage to his image. But because he's a pop singer, but at the same time he has a strong will to pursue an acting career. So after our casting, we were quite surprised to find that he actually want to play this character quite a lot. And before that, before casting George, there is a certain period that myself I want to play this character as well because I have try to be an actor before making this film. So, but after meeting George, we think that George is the most suitable cast. So yeah. So the fun fact I'm trying to share is that George actually has taken my chance to play this character because as an actor, this role attracts me a lot because it's a very challenging role, and also I could play in a film with Anthony Wong, which is like a dream for a actor wannabe, which is me. So, but at the end, the being a reasonable and being a
Responsible.
new responsible new director. I think that it is better for me to stay behind the camera and to uh, pick the better person and the more suitable person to play this role rather than just fulfilling my own ambition and own dream to play in this movie. Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
Do you have any more fun fact in your head or something maybe that, or if you don't have now, maybe later you will have something. It's okay.
Do you have fun fact? Do you have fun fact?
I will think about it later.
Okay. Then do you have maybe any favorite scene from the movie if you had to choose one?
Embarrassing to to express my favorite film, my favorite scene for my own film. I sometimes when I look at I'm my greatest critic. So when I look at my film, I just thought, oh, I remember the mistake there, and I can't really enjoy my own film. But there's one scene that I enjoy watching, and I forgot I was the director. when I watched the scene is the scene uh, where the pastor and his wife are going in the car.
Mm-hmm.
There was a scene after the wife of the pastor he recognized a lot and he was so confused. How come? How why do you do that? Why do you accept a lot to be in your church? And what are you planning to do? He's so confused and so angry. And we shot that in one take, and we didn't interfere anything, and we just let them do the things because they're the experts. And I remember after shooting that, like take one or take two, we are already so satisfied with the performance. And turns out we really don't need any cuts or any after effect or anything. Just the acting on screen is so powerful. So that is the scene I really enjoy. It's like looking two master challenging each other.
I think there is one scene that I personally enjoyed watching is the scene that the pastor brings Alok to the restaurant and to enjoy a meal with him and Alok because he's so hungry and also maybe when during his days in the prison, he haven't have the chance he don't have the chance to eat hamburger. So he he enjoys eating the hamburger very much. At the same time, we see that the pastor actually feels very struggle looking at a lot when he enjoys his meal. Because for me, this scene there is a great tension and great drama under the surface of just being a very ordinary meal, just the two of them eating together. Like nothing actually happens, just a normal conversation when we look at the shot. But but because the audience knows the true nature of their relationship, so during this scene, although the shots were quite still and they doesn't move, they just sit there and just having a normal conversation. But I think that there's a huge tension behind it, and I enjoy watching this kind of drama quite a lot. So during the shooting and during the editing, I think this scene, maybe it is not one of the most um uh, significant scene like the ending I won't spoil it here, but the ending scene is like a sad piece, like there's something more significant that is happening, but this scene might look uh, rather ordinary, but I think the drama behind it, it's has stays in my mind for quite a few time, quite a long time. So I think that this scene actually is one of my favorite from the film. Yeah.
Okay. And also for the end of the part of for this movie is why do you hope people, the audience, will get from your movie?
Well, I don't hope for anything. I just hope they enjoy the film. And um actually I did have some thinking for about it. Um I think talking about forgiveness is very difficult in nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, because we enjoy revenge more than forgive. Even even if in real life, when someone say I decide to forgive someone, many of us, it will trigger many of us. We'll be angry. We'll think, oh, how dare you forgive him? You should revenge. You should do something bad to him. Um, because revenge is more human, and forgive is like inhuman.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in nowadays when we talk about forgiveness, um, it's very hard, but also it's a way out for the victims or for the one who has lost many things. Forgive may be a way out, but also we have to listen to our heart to know that
Mm-hmm.
are we really capable of doing that, or are we just lying to ourselves? We are forcing ourselves. So it's a challenging theme. How we forgive or how we not forgive is also maybe a way out. And I just hope that anyone who have a trauma or loss can find something, um, can find also find some forgiveness for himself or herself. Yeah, something like this.
Also, a last question. Did you notice any differences between the Hong Kong audience and the international audience? How the people received the movie?
I think the film there is uh, before our film reached the audience, we thought that the audience from foreign countries will be more open-minded to this topic. And whereas in Hong Kong, we fear that it might offend the Christian community because the pastor in this film is not the we didn't use a very positive angle to portray him. Like he would have his weakness, and his it is not like we are presenting a pastor that could um that could be a great teacher, that he can really forgive others when he preaching forgiveness. So we feel that it might cause great controversy in Hong Kong, especially in the Christian community. But at the end, we find that the local Christian community is more open-minded than we think. Like there are many Christian audience, and we actually some church invite us to do some sharings about the film and to discuss the film in our the themes in our movie. But whereas when we send the our film to some of the foreign film festival, we find that some in European countries, some audience might find that the how we portray the pastor and one the final moment of the film, like I don't want to spoil it here, would actually uh, they would have concerns about that scene being shown in their local cinema, like maybe it's in some countries with heavy Christian or Catholic background. Such a scene would be too strong, or maybe it would cause some unwanted controversy.
Hmm.
So the how the religious community receive our film uh, actually is quite different from how we expect or imagine. Yeah, but it is but it is also a relief for us to see that the film is actually quite universal. Because when we show the film in Tokyo or in New York or in Malaysia, uh, we went to different film festival, and not all countries share similar cultural backgrounds, but they could also understand uh, the world that we are portraying, and most importantly is the human struggle in the film. So there's a saying that say you have to the film when your film is quite personal, then the film will go universal. And I think screening our film from at different places, we actually find that that is quite true, because different audience could also connect with the drama, how the pastor deals with his grief, how he juggles between wanting to forgive and wanting to get his revenge. So we think that cinema is really quite a meaningful and important tool in communicating with different people from different cultures. Yeah.
I just want to say one point. I really don't know what the audience think, because I don't dare to watch any comments or reviews for the film, even good or bad. When I read reviews, it will triggers my emotion too much, because it's like my newborn baby,
Hmm.
and how they criticize or praise it is also too much for me. So I don't really know what the audience think. I just hope they enjoy it, or find something they have interest in it. Yeah, that's all.
Okay. Do you want to add anything else for the movie, or we can go to the last part?
Let's go to the last part.
Okay, so let's go to the last part about the future project. I would like to ask you maybe either like a kind of story that you would be interested into exploring in the future, a genre or a story you would like to explore for your future projects.
Actually, I'm interested into doing romantic movie, like maybe a rom-com or just teenagers fall in love. Yeah, I want to make teenage movie. Sometimes when I look back for Fate of the Shadow of Death, it's maybe too dark or too heavy. I want to make something lighter and something that people can maybe my mom can enjoy. Yeah,
I'm currently developing two projects, which is a new story. One of them is a romantic comedy, and another is a drama, but it is more satiric. It's not as heavy and dark as Valley of the Shadow of Death,
yeah.
because I from this Valley of the Shadow of Death and some short films I made previously, which is also based on the religious setting and the struggle between the Christians, like how a Christian will face the moral dilemma in their daily life. So I want to explore something outside the Christian world more in future projects because I people start to label me to be a director or a storyteller that only interested in telling story about the Christian world or the struggle of a pastor. So I'm trying to explore some different types of stories. Yeah.
You can try Buddhist or Muslim.
Yeah.
And maybe for the one who are just discovering maybe the Hong Kong cinema, do you have like any director? It can be more like younger director, or it can be more like in known director in Hong Kong, or movies also you would recommend for someone who just discovered Hong Kong cinema.
I would like to recommend my very good friend Lawrence Kahn. He is the director of In Broad Daylight. Yeah, 白日之下 in Broad Daylight. It's about it's a very powerful movie about journalists in Hong Kong, and they discover a shocking news that there were abuse in the elderly home,
Okay.
and it was based on a true event. So I also I recommend everyone to watch it. It's very universal. It's a very good topic and an important topic as well. And he's my good friend, so I recommend Lawrence Kahn to everyone. Also, I recently just collab with him in a TV series called Before the End 全走人. It's a TV series. It's about the different kind of people in the bar. So there's like a fifteen unit story, and each story is about a different kind of person in the bar, and it's a quite fun to watch for the TV series.
Okay.
I would recommend the audience maybe in the somewhere outside Hong Kong or outside China, they can uh, look can try to explore the more possibilities outside the action cinema of Hong Kong.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know that the in the foreign countries, the Hong Kong cinema is most well known for the action cinema.
Kung
But
Fu.
yeah, Kung Fu, John Woo, like gangster movie. But outside this more renowned genre, actually, in the nowadays the new younger filmmakers and there are some non-mainstream film directors in Hong Kong. They make films outside the action genre, and I think that there are many unique stories and unique storytelling from this kind of films that the film lovers might would be interested in. So I think that maybe outside the action cinema, uh, they could try to look at the other films from Hong Kong, and they might find something that they could also enjoy. Yeah.
Okay. Do you have like any final words for the listeners?
The final words, I think, we hope we hope that you can have a chance to see the film because maybe I'm not sure that this which people from which countries listen to this podcast the most, but I think that maybe the film has not yet been released in that those places, and we hope that our film might have a chance to be released outside Hong Kong later, or maybe on later on streaming platforms, or maybe there will be a DVD or Blu-ray, and I think we hope that this film could be an introduction for you of Hong Kong cinema outside the action genre. So we hope the um, this film could connect with you, and we hope that whether you are a Christian or non-Christian, you may try to find the human drama of the film might interest you or may make you to think more about the film of how we can deal with anger and the the lesson of forgiveness, how we could practice it. Is it important to practice it in a morally complex world like nowadays in the society we are living in?
Yeah, like when Jeffrey is talking about anger, I also feel that it's a very important theme in in nowadays world. Like when we look at the news, like these few days is crazy news about the like for example the Epstein files. There's many things that's too crazy to look at, and you can't imagine how wicked the world is. And the one topic I always go back to, like watching a film or when I write something, is how we stay kind in this wicked world.
Hmm.
And it's very difficult because one scene will lead to another scene, like in our film, like the boy raped the girl so that the father want to revenge, and scene leads to scene. How can we be someone that stays truthful and stay pure in our heart when the world is crazy? It's difficult, but always remind ourselves about this. And yeah, I think I will keep making movies about this topic, and I hope I just hope the world will get better, but seems not. So I just hope I can stay kind and tell the truth as always.
Okay, thank you very much for this interview and accepting. It was very interesting.
Thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.